You're listening to the Tony Conley Morning Show on 1320 WILS, 1320WILS.com. The Army has decided to charge Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, who was released by Taliban alleged militants in last year's exchange for 5 prisoners from Guantanamo Bay. Now, is that true? Well, the Pentagon is saying, hold your horses. Let's see if we can learn the truth here from Brian Bouffard, who's a military expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. He's a criminal defense lawyer and former U.S. and Navy JAG Lieutenant Commander. Brian, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Tony.
All right. Now, what's the truth here?
Well, the truth here, in my opinion, is that I think the lieutenant colonel who said that he had 2 sources that said that Bo Bergdahl had already been charged, I think he's mistaken. The reason why I think that, number one, is because the Pentagon has come out and denied that, and frankly, if he'd been given a charge sheet, there's no reason in the world why the Pentagon would not, try to sandbag that. The other issue is that some of the reporting I saw yesterday just didn't make any legal sense. For example, NBC News reported both that Sergeant Bergdahl had been charged with desertion, but also that the government was not alleging that he had the intent to remain away permanently, and that's a legal impossibility. So that would be like charging somebody with theft, but saying, well, we don't think you took anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's just some bad info that came out yesterday.
So where does this story move from here? Do we know what the status of Mr. Bergdahl is?
We on the outside don't know that, but I think it's a very safe bet that right now all of this information is sitting on the desk of General Milley, who is the convening authority and who is going to be the person who decides what should Sergeant Bergdahl be charged with and what type of court-martial, if any, should he face.
Isn't this lack of action kind of a bad reflection on the Army and the Pentagon?
I wouldn't call it a lack of action. It's just an action that seems to be taking a very, very long time. And the length of time that this has taken, in my opinion, is very unusual. Obviously it's heavily politicized, and there are a lot of issues surrounding this case. But the issue of whether or not the evidence shows unauthorized absence or desertion or some other offense, those are questions that normally are pretty easy to answer. And the government has had that evidence for quite some time. So why we don't have a charge sheet yet is anyone's guess, and unfortunately all we can do is speculate about that.
Is the White House behind the foot dragging on this, keeping the Army from moving forward?
I can't say that it is, but I can certainly say that that is in the realm of possibility.
Brian Bouffard is a military expert for 1320 WILS and Fox News Radio. Sir, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Anytime, Tony. Take care.
It's the Tony Conley Morning Show and more compelling talk radio, 1320 WILS, 1320WILS.com.